Streaming on the internet? Just wait, I'm gonna wait just a second here and see if it pops up on my LinkedIn.
We've converted into ones and zeros.
It's so great. I am now the digital representation of myself.
Anytime you go live, it's always remember the old Wayne's World movie in 5.
Cool. Wayne's World, party time. Yeah. All right. Give it a second. There we go. See, it still shows up right there. See what we look like on the internet. Anyway. Well, good afternoon, gentlemen. What's up, everybody? It's Drew, the Wireless Nerd. I am surrounded by two of my most favorite people in this industry, and we are live at NRF 2024.
Yeah, we are.
Who are you?
I'm Brian Klinger with the Quick Byte Crew.
Nice,
My
man.
day job, though, is working for Comcast Business.
There you go. What about, who are you?
I'm a night and day job worker. Vice President of Machine Q, which is the enterprise IoT arm of Comcast. Brian and I work together.
Nice, man. So, what a show, dude. Did you know that there were 3,000 slices of pizza served by that magical pizza bot right over there over the course of the last 3 days?
Absolutely. The line was just steady.
It was insane.
I will say this, though. There was a robot making pizzas. There's still 6 people.
There were 6 people.
But what was cool, though, is the 6 people were just saying, hey, here's your pizza.
Yeah.
They were focused on the guest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. Instead of
That's
back there slinging sauce and cheese.
And that seems like that's one of the themes of this place, man. So, you know, my first year at NRF, you guys are legends here. Can't walk around the show floor with you guys like getting handshakes by everybody. How many years is this for you here?
Oh my gosh, many, many years. I can't even count them up. It seems like we've been doing this for
Dude,
almost
15 years?
Maybe.
At least?
I think Comcast Business is up for an award for longevity partner.
Man.
Being recognized by NRF. I mean, that's
insane.
We've been here from the beginning. So.
God, it's awesome, man. So, but I tried to walk the floor and try and get an understanding of what's going on. Like, what does this show mean to people in retail? And coming off of CES last week, CES had the cars and had the TVs and all that stuff that was going on. I saw some of the robotics there, but coming into this show, the story's so much bigger than just the pizza bots. When I was up on the show floor, there were a couple themes that stood out to me, but I want your opinion. If you guys could, just give me 2 things that you saw here that you think are going to not just change the industry today, but maybe something that's going to change the industry 3-5 years from now. Russ, I'll start with you. What do you think, man?
It was no different, actually, than CES. AI. I was joking with a guy today. I said, so what do you do? He's like, AI analytics. I'm like, no, like, what do you do? Like, everyone here is AI analytics, but give me real cool things you're doing. Like, what's the coolest thing you did? And he told me about this unbelievable situation where they're now providing images to show up in front of people based on who that person is, based on a camera coming in. He's like, so when Russ walks in, we know he's a golfer, and now there's ads everywhere with golf and virtual
personalization.
Yeah. Yes.
So it's AI, but I want to hear. I want to hear AI. I want to hear what you're doing with it.
That's right.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
a real world use case.
What do you think, Brian? What did you see out here?
Yeah, well, right over here where you mentioned the pizza that's being served up to guests, there was also a kiosk in place, and we have 40% of the attendees at the NRF show are international.
Oh, wow.
So when you think of most kiosks I've ever been to, I'm sure that you've ever seen, they're always in English.
Yep.
And so there's a company, shameless plug for Let's Chat here, that Comcast is an investment position in, and they gave that kiosk the ability to serve guests in the language they prefer.
That's awesome.
And it was the delight and surprise moment. This is where AI and large language models and these technologies that come together to give people dignity, to give people a human touch, a real world connection like that.
Can I give you one?
Yeah.
Talking with these guys today. We're gonna get personal here on
Good.
Rose, and we'll get teary-eyed. But if you follow my journey, and I've shared it a little bit on social media with my daughter being born this year, had some really challenges. And there's a lot of kids that have the rare genetic syndrome that she has that are nonverbal and use ASL, sign language.
Yeah.
So talking to the folks at Let's Chat, and I go, hey, I see all this video-based analytics and AI. I know what you guys are doing, and it's we're talking audibly right now in a language, and Let's Chat would allow us to communicate. I go, what if my daughter's language is not verbal?
Yeah.
And I started asking him. They're so far ahead of the game on that.
Man.
He said we're translating ASL, American Sign Language, into International Sign Language with all the different. So where now somebody could come up to the screen, order in sign language, and it be converted to whatever language is cooking, preparing the food.
Man, that's awesome.
That one kinda
That's
hit my
awesome.
heartstrings.
That's a
That's
good one.
amazing.
You
What a
know,
story. Wow.
The guys at I think it's Soundhound, the group that's up with Samsung. Did you get a demo of what they did, their AI thing? So you walk, they don't have a drive-through, but you walk by and you stand on it, and the AI screen kicks off, and it says, welcome to so-and-so's, may I take your order? And I was like, yeah, but man, my wife changes her order. It's like, oh, I'll take a burger with cheese. Well, no, cheese, yes, but no, put some mustard on there. No, never mind, no mustard with ketchup. And I was like, there's no way you can do it. And it did it. It processed everything and put it up on the screen. And it's like, do you want some dessert? And it made recommendations on what you want. And so seeing some of that technology, that assistive technology, regardless, I think that's what I'm seeing here. And, you make a strong point about the human interaction still being there, but overall, I mean, robots, AI. I mean, this was for anyone that's not at this show who doesn't understand where this industry is going. I mean, it's not the elephant in the room; it's the robotic elephant in the room. And there's a lot of stuff happening. So how is that going to affect people? How's that going to affect the labor? I'm looking at ShiftSmart, the labor solutions for retailers right now. How is this going to affect the labor market overall in all these different corners of the world? Because so much of it, I toured the AWS, the AWS booth, and they showed me this shopping cart that has sensors on it, and it looks up at the ceiling to identify QR codes to figure out where the shopping cart is so that they can retrofit old supermarkets with this new technology. And I was like, that's awesome. And I asked the guy, well, how's the shopping cart connecting? He goes, well, it's IoT. And I was like, oh, is it Wi-Fi or is it IoT? He's like, well, it uses IoT. And I was like, yeah, but how does it connect to the store? And he's like, oh, yeah, Wi-Fi. And I said, yeah, okay, what about when you go to South Texas and there's a store with no Wi-Fi? What do you do then? He's like, it's funny you say that. We went to a store in North Carolina, and we went in and we tried to deploy everything. We go to deploy it, and we asked the guy, what's your Wi-Fi password for the store, or the Wi-Fi for the store? He goes, oh, we used the one from Arby's next door. And I was like, are you serious? He goes, yeah, man. It's one of those moments where, this was a trend last week on Waves when I was talking to the other crew from the Cisco crew at Cisco Unplugged, and we're like, what's one of the big trends? And it was connectivity. Everybody just takes it for granted. We're sitting in a booth, right? And you can see some of the stuff that's happening behind us. But to explain it, there's Wi-Fi access points. It looks like the top of a die, with the five points, 2 in each corner and 1 in the middle. So there's APs all around this area, and we're driving real-time analytics and location-based services from the Wi-Fi. But we're also overlaying it with cameras, which was something I saw a lot of here. Everyone is using the intelligence and the cameras to gather analytics. I mean, what are your thoughts on that? I mean, there's a lot of companies now that say that they're doing it, but how many people are using it?
Well, and that's just the thing, right, is how far along are the companies offering these services? I was in a conversation last night where a company offered our CTO the ability for a technician to be at a customer site, and if they run into a challenge with solving whatever the situation needs, they would be able to do an AI algorithm walk them through decision trees, right?
Okay.
And so our CTO, as brilliant as he is, it says, well, how far along are you with your catalog? And how do I know the decision tree is correct? And all these verifications and validation. And you can see, to your point, there's a lot of, we can do this, but how far along are some?
We've got this great idea that we haven't trained yet.
Right. But I would say back to your comment about labor and workforce talent pool, I think that you'll find, let's just take again our friends at Let's Chat, there's 2 comments I'd say on that. They can allow your talent pool to expand when you make these job opportunities open in people's language. They can find you, they can chat with you, they can go online to the website. It's just when you're breaking down language barriers. And by the way, let's talk about restaurants and retail. Let's say there's a kitchen display system. The order's placed with someone speaking English, maybe through a SoundHound AI voice order in the drive-thru.
With the back office.
But the back of the house, if they speak Portuguese, it translates in the kitchen display system in their language.
That's awesome.
Now you're boosting the order accuracy, you're having higher customer satisfaction numbers, brand loyalty, you're building community where people are. And then one more comment is, I would say that kiosks are going to be proliferation everywhere because of some of the legislation that's coming out. It's driving up the cost of labor, and I think it's just getting smarter, more intuitive. And to your point, telling that story a while ago, it's becoming more accessible.
I think so. Now, IoT. Talk to me about IoT.
Well, I want to just talk on one more thing here. So this morning I was here early, and the robots were getting work done by a dude with tools. And I asked him, we're on robots now, tell me a little about your background. He's like, oh man, I worked in all kinds, I'm just a blue collar guy. I'm like, yeah, but now there's jobs for working on robots. there's a pile of jobs for blue collar, white collar, you name it, with robotics and some of this
That's right.
technology. So it's not like, oh, we're eliminating humans. Like, no, we're empowering humans to do other things. Maybe a language was a barrier where you only could do labor, but now because of this technology they're talking about, now you can start doing things that are interacting with people instead of just being the guy in the back washing the dish.
That's interesting. I mean, it's for, I think, for as much robotics and stuff that you see here, there is that side to it. So okay, so back on the IoT front, I mean, dude, it was everywhere. I mean, it was at CES, it was like urinalysis and that. Here, it's a little different here.
What's cool that AI is the new acronym buzzword. IoT is like real. We all have it in our house. Everyone gets it. They understand how it works. And I am having a blast right now because AI is being fueled by new data that we never had from all over the place out in the world through IoT.
Yeah.
So it's like this is artificial generated intelligence that's generating these new things artificially, but what they're using to create it,